A port and policy debate on the Israel-Palestine conflict hosted by the KCL Conservative Association and Israel Society in late October incited controversy after a handful of attendees came dressed up as Palestinians and a discriminatory remark went unchecked. The hoarding covering the statue of Thomas Guy on Guy's campus following Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 has been removed and replaced by a temporary plaque acknowledging his ties to the slave trade. And for our top story today, UCU and Unison strikes have yet again taken place due to low wages and increased workloads for university lecturers and staff. I'm Justine Noble, and you're watching Roar News. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. On the 27th of October, the KCL Conservative Association and Israel Society sparked controversy and important policy debate on the proposed two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict and the recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Reporting from the event, news editor Violeta Fernandez-Diguez stated that before the debate even started, a provocative mood was set by the clothing choice of certain members, one imitating a Middle Eastern terrorist, while others sported keffiyeh scarves native to Palestine. In response, KCL Tories released the following statement. We take seriously any inappropriate and offensive behavior. The clothing attendees wear is a matter for their own consideration and choice. KCLCA does not presuppose somebody's ethnic background or assume their standpoint or views by the clothes a person wears. Controversy was further fueled by an audience member who, during debate over the two-state solution, exclaimed that at least the death toll of Israelis versus Palestinians is a 1-to-5 kill ratio. According to Fernandez-Diguez, this comment was followed by some booing and a few unsound exclamations, but no attempt to expulse the member was made or demand an apology from them. On this matter, KCL Tories have since stated, with regard to inappropriate shouted remarks, the person concerned was not a KCL student nor a member of the association, and is subject to an investigation linked to a disciplinary process which may lead to the individual being banned from any future KCLCA event. In the same instant, the attendee was admonished by committee members. Moving swiftly on, if you study on Guy's campus, you may have noticed that the hoarding surrounding the statue of Sir Thomas Guy has been removed for the first time since 2020 to allow conservation work to take place. A temporary plaque stating some of Guy's wealth came from investments in the South Sea Company, which was directly involved in the slave trade, has been erected in its place. The original decision to cover the statue was announced in June 2020 in a joint statement by KCL, Guy's and St. Thomas's NHS Foundation Trust, and Guy's and St. Thomas's Charity. It came in the wake of Black Lives Matter protests across the UK and the toppling of a statue of slave trader Edward Colston in Bristol. Guy's and St. Thomas's Foundation, who own the statue, announced in September last year that they intended to relocate the statue to a less prominent location in the local area around Guy's Hospital. They also announced their intention to add a plaque explaining Guy's connections to the slave trade. And now on to our top story today. UCU and Unison industrial action has yet again taken place at King's, as over 70,000 members of staff across 150 universities in the UK agreed to go on strike in November. Striking staff included members from teaching staff such as lecturers and seminar leaders, admin staff such as librarians and technicians, and Unison-specific staff such as cleaners, security, and caterers. These strikes were the product of two historic national ballots in October, where UCU and Unison members overwhelmingly voted for industrial action. Nationwide strikes impacted an estimated over 2.5 million students, making November's strike action plan the biggest to ever hit UK universities. Representatives from the respective unions cited rising concerns over low pay, unstable contracts, poor working conditions, continued inequalities, and reduced pensions set against the backdrop of inflation and the cost of living crisis as the primary reasons for striking. The university has not met their demands in response, despite UCU declaring that the disruption can be avoided if their employers act fast to revoke previous pay cuts and adjust pay according to inflation. With that, strike action is likely to happen again in the new year. Thank you for turning into our Roar News Roundup, and see you next week for more news.